In the heart of the Antarctic winter, the world ends. The sun disappears for months. Temperatures drop lower than most thermometers can measure. Wind screams across the ice at speeds that knock grown men off their feet. Nothing grows, nothing moves, nothing survives. And yet, 60 miles from the open sea, thousands of emperor penguins stand in perfect darkness. They are packed so tightly that they cannot move their wings. Their heads are tucked against their chests. Their eyes are closed against the frozen air. They have not eaten in weeks. They will not eat for many more. Each male balances a single egg on top of his feet, covered by a warm flap of feathered skin. One mistake, one slip, one moment of exhaustion, that egg touches the ice, and the chick inside dies. The cold kills in seconds. This is not a struggle, this is a siege. 4 months of fasting. 4 months of standing still. 4 months of holding life against a continent that wants to extinguish it. By any logic, by any biological rule, this should be impossible. No warm-blooded creature should be able to survive here. No parent should be able to protect an egg through the longest, darkest night on Earth. Yet every year, they do it. They choose this. They march into the worst winter on the planet because somewhere in their ancient memory, they know this is the only way. This is not a story about cute animals in a nature documentary. This is a story about the hardest job on Earth. A job performed by birds that gave up the sky to master the sea. A job that requires starvation, endurance, and a huddle that moves like a single, breathing organism. The emperor penguin did not conquer Antarctica. It made a bargain with it, and the price of that bargain is 4 months without food in the coldest place on Earth. To understand what emperor penguins endure, you must first understand where they live. Antarctica is not an ice paradise. It is a desert, the driest place on Earth. In the interior, less than 2 inches of snow falls each year. That is less than the Sahara. What does fall never melts. It stacks, compresses, and slowly becomes part of an ice sheet that reaches 2 miles thick. The weight of that ice is so enormous that it pushes the continent downward, below sea level in some places. Winter temperatures average around -40 degrees Celsius, but temperature alone does not explain the danger. Wind is the real killer. The air is dense and cold. When it moves, it strips heat from any exposed surface with brutal efficiency. Winds often race past 60 miles per hour, pushing wind chills near -100 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point, exposed skin freezes in under 2 minutes. The body begins to fail almost immediately. Fingers, toes, noses, gone. Lungs can crack from breathing air that cold. Eyes can freeze shut. The ice itself adds another threat. It never stops moving. Glaciers grind toward the sea at inches per day. Sea ice cracks and shifts with currents and tides. Icebergs the size of cities carve from glaciers and float north until warmer waters eat them away. The ground beneath a penguin's feet is not ground at all. It is a frozen ocean, drifting, buckling, breaking apart as seasons shift. Nothing here holds still, yet life breeds in this instability. Antarctica supports the largest penguin colonies on the planet. Emperor penguins gather in tens of thousands, not despite the cold, but because of it. The ice gives them something no other habitat can: safety from surface predators. No foxes, no wolves, no bears. The only threats come from below, from the water, and on the ice sheet, miles from the coast, even those threats disappear. This is a place where life should fail. Yet penguins remain, not by chance, but by an ancient bargain with evolution. Every feather, every dive, every huddle is a compromise with the cold. They survive Antarctica's cruelty, but only by paying a price almost no other creature is willing to afford. While other animals escape to the ocean or migrate toward warmth, emperor penguins do the opposite. They begin their breeding cycle when Antarctica is at its most hostile. They move inland just as the sun disappears and temperatures fall towards their yearly low. For most species, winter is something to endure. For emperors, it is the only moment when life can start. The logic is harsh but exact. When sea ice reaches its maximum extent in autumn, the ice shelf becomes stable enough to hold a colony of tens of thousands. They need that platform, broad, flat, and out of reach of ocean predators. Leopard seals patrol the waters near the coast. Orcas hunt in packs. If the penguins bred in summer, the ice would be thin, broken, or gone entirely. Their chicks would hatch into open water, defenseless against the predators waiting below. So, they travel early. In the dark, long lines of penguins leave the coast and walk toward a breeding site that looks empty to human eyes. A plain of ice that stays frozen just long enough to raise a chick. They walk for days, sliding on their bellies when their legs tire, pushing forward with nothing but instinct and the memory of success. The timing is everything. If they arrive too early, the ice is not thick enough. If they arrive too late, the winter storms will catch them before they can establish the colony. They have a window of perhaps 2 weeks. After that, the door closes. This is the paradox at the heart of their survival. They do not breed despite winter. They breed because of winter. Summer would kill their chicks. The sea would eat them. The predators would feast. Only the deep, stable, frozen heart of Antarctica gives them a chance. But that chance comes at a cost that would break almost any other animal. When the colony reaches the breeding site, the pairs form. Emperor penguins are mostly monogamous for a season. They find each other through calls, through movements, through a recognition system so precise that a female can locate her mate among 50,000 identical voices. The female lays a single egg. One chance, one life. The egg is large, nearly a pound, with a thick shell designed to resist cracking on the ice, but it cannot touch the ground. The cold would penetrate the shell in seconds and freeze the embryo, so the transfer must be flawless. The female rolls the egg onto the male's feet, and he covers it with a brood pouch, a flap of feathered skin that maintains a temperature of about 36 degrees Celsius, even when the outside air is -40. If the egg drops, if the transfer fails, if the male misses the catch, the egg freezes. The season is over. After the transfer, their paths divide. The females, who have used most of their energy reserves to produce the egg, head back to the ocean to feed. They will walk for days, then swim for weeks, hunting fish, squid, and krill to rebuild their strength. They will not return until the chick is ready to hatch. The males stay behind. For 4 months, they will not eat. They will not drink. They will not move more than a few meters in any direction. They will stand with the egg on their feet, backs to the wind, facing the darkness, holding life against death. This is where the real ordeal begins. For 4 months, nothing enters their body except cold. They burn through their fat reserves at a carefully calculated rate. A male that starts the winter too thin will starve before the females return. A male that starts too fat will have wasted energy that could have gone to his chick. Every gram matters. The storms come in waves, winds that howl for days, temperatures that drop so low that the air itself seems to crystallize. The males do not sleep. They cannot lie down. They cannot leave the egg. They stand hour after hour, day after day, week after week, in the dark, in the cold, in the silence. Their bodies begin to shut down. Their metabolism slows to a crawl. Their heart rates drop. Their digestive systems go dormant. They are living on stored fat and stubbornness. For 4 months, nothing enters their body except cold. Standing alone, any penguin would die. The cold is too great, the wind too relentless. A single bird loses heat too quickly. Its core temperature would drop, its organs would fail, and it would freeze within hours. So they invented the huddle, thousands of males pressed together into a dense, shifting mass. The temperature inside the huddle can reach 70 degrees Fahrenheit, a pocket of warmth in a continent of ice. The birds on the outside take the worst of the wind. Those on the inside barely feel it. But the huddle is not static. It is a living machine. The birds on the outside, freezing and exhausted, slowly push their way toward the center. Those in the center, warmed and rested, gradually drift back to the edges. There is no leader, no signal, no command. The movement emerges from thousands of individual decisions, each penguin seeking warmth, each penguin taking its turn in the cold. This rotation system is mathematically elegant. The birds at the edge lose heat quickly, so they have the strongest incentive to move inward. The birds at the center lose heat slowly, so they can afford to drift outward. The result is a continuous, self-regulating cycle that maximizes survival for the entire colony. There is no leader, only timing. The huddle also moves. When the wind shifts, the entire mass shifts with it. Penguins on the windward side push toward the leeward side. The colony flows like a slow river of black and white, always keeping the most vulnerable birds in the warmest position. This system works. It has worked for thousands of generations, but it is not free. Penguins on the edge freeze. Penguins that cannot push through the mass get trapped. Penguins that fall are trampled. The huddle saves most, but it kills some. That is the math of survival. There is no other way. The cost is measured in weight. A male emperor penguin that starts the winter at 40 kilograms will weigh less than 20 kilograms when the females return. He loses half his body mass. Half. His muscles shrink. His organs shrink. His feathers grow thin. He is a walking skeleton, held together by instinct and the faint warmth of the egg beneath his pouch. Some do not make it. The failure rate varies from year to year, but in bad winters, a third of the males may die. They freeze, they starve. They lose their grip on the egg and watch it shatter on the ice. They simply give up, lying down in the snow, too exhausted to stand. The egg itself is a constant danger. The male cannot drop it. He cannot pass it to another bird. He cannot set it down to rest. For 4 months, he holds it with his feet, balancing on ice, shifting his weight to keep it off the ground. One stumble, one moment of inattention, and the chick dies. This is not amazing adaptation. This is brutal biological cost. The emperor penguin did not evolve to make winter comfortable. It evolved to survive winter long enough to reproduce. There is no comfort here, only thresholds. The line between life and death is measured in grams of fat, in minutes of exposure, in centimeters of huddle space. Cross the line and you freeze. Stay on the right side and you live to see another season. But for those who endure, for those who hold on through the darkest months, something extraordinary is about to happen. After 4 months of darkness, the first hint of light returns to the horizon, a thin band of gold on the edge of the world. The males see it. They have been standing in the dark for so long that they have forgotten what light looks like. And then, beneath the brood pouch, a sound. Faint, high-pitched, a chirp. The egg is hatching. The chick emerges slowly, exhausted from the effort of breaking through its shell. It is covered in grey, down, so thin that you can see its heart beating through its chest. It cannot regulate its own temperature. It cannot eat on its own. It can only chirp and wait. The male has no food to give it. He has not eaten in 4 months. He has nothing left, but he can keep it warm. He can protect it from the wind. He can hold it against his body and wait. For a few more days, he waits. The chick grows stronger. The male grows weaker. The sun climbs higher. And then on the horizon, movement. The females are returning. The colony is chaos. Thousands of females returning from the sea, each one carrying a stomach full of partially digested fish and krill. Thousands of males standing in the huddle, each one holding a hungry chick. And all of them calling, calling, calling. The sound is deafening. A rolling wave of cries that washes across the ice for miles. Each penguin has a unique vocal signature, a frequency, a rhythm, a pattern that distinguishes it from every other penguin in the colony. A female arrives at the edge of the huddle. She calls out. Her mate, somewhere in the mass of bodies, hears her. He calls back. She moves toward the sound. He calls again. She corrects her path. They find each other. In chaos, identity becomes a frequency. The reunion is brief. The female lowers her head. The male lifts his. She regurgitates the food she has carried for hundreds of miles. The chick, still gray and fragile, eats for the first time in its life. The male, who has not eaten in 4 months, stands aside. He is done. His job is complete. He has held the egg through the darkest winter on Earth. He has kept it warm when the wind tried to freeze it. He has fed it nothing of himself because he had nothing to give. And now he must leave. The female takes over. She will keep the chick warm and fed for the next several weeks. The male will walk back to the sea, a journey of days, on legs that can barely hold him. He will swim and hunt and eat. He will regain his strength. He will return next year to do it all again if he survives. The walk back to the ocean is a death march. The males have lost half their body weight. Their muscles are depleted. Their feathers are ragged. They have not drunk water for 4 months. They have not eaten. They are walking skeletons. The distance to the sea is the same as before. 60 miles, sometimes more. But now, there is no egg to protect, no chick to warm. Only the need to reach the water before their bodies give out. Some collapse along the way. They lie down in the snow and do not get up. The wind covers them. The ice takes them. They become part of the continent. Others reach the edge of the ice. They see the dark water. They hear the waves. They slide forward, belly first, and slip into the sea. The cold hits them immediately. The water is -2 degrees Celsius, still below freezing, but so much warmer than the air they have left. They dive. They hunt. They eat. Fish, krill, squid, anything they can catch. They feed until their stomachs are full, then feed some more. For the next several weeks, they will eat and rest and eat again. They will rebuild their fat reserves. They will grow new feathers. They will prepare for the next winter, when they will walk back to the breeding grounds and do it all over again. Not all of them will survive. Some will be taken by leopard seals. Some will be caught by orcas. Some will simply not recover from the fast. But those who do will return. The cycle continues. For most of this film, we have focused on the emperor penguin. But the emperor is not alone. It is one node in a vast interconnected system that spans the entire Southern Ocean. Zoom out. Every spring, as the sea ice retreats, the sun triggers a bloom of phytoplankton. These microscopic plants multiply until the water turns green. They are the foundation of everything. Krill eat the phytoplankton. Billions of krill, so many that their swarms can be seen from space. Krill are the currency of the Antarctic ecosystem. Everything eats them or eats something that does. Penguins eat krill. Seals eat penguins and krill. Orcas eat seals and penguins. Birds eat everything they can steal. The system is a pyramid of consumption, with krill at the base and apex predators at the top. The emperor penguin sits in the middle. It is not the most numerous penguin. That honor belongs to the macaroni. It is not the fastest or the strongest, but it is the one that pushes farthest into the cold, the one that dares to breed where no other bird will go. And now, the system is beginning to change. The ice is melting earlier. The krill are shifting south. The predators are following. The emperor penguins that have bred on the same ice for generations are finding that the ice is no longer stable. It breaks up before the chicks can fledge. The chicks fall into the sea. They drown, they freeze, they die. Some colonies have already disappeared. Others are shrinking. The penguins are trying to adapt, to move to new ice, to find new breeding grounds. But the ice is moving faster than they can follow. This is not a story about penguins. It is a story about timing, collapse, and balance. The emperor penguin has survived the cold for millions of years. It has endured ice ages and warm periods. It has learned to fast for 4 months, to huddle against the wind, to find a single voice in the chaos of thousands. But it cannot outrun the loss of ice. It cannot adapt to a world where winter no longer freezes the sea. The huddle is breaking. The cycle is fraying. And somewhere in the dark, on a shrinking patch of ice, a male emperor penguin holds an egg on his feet and waits for a female who may never come. The sun will rise again. The ice will melt again. The system will change again. And now, the system is beginning to change faster than ever before. The emperor penguin did not choose this fight. It inherited it from ancestors who crossed a threshold millions of years ago and never looked back. But thresholds move, and when they move, even the most resilient creatures must move with them or be left behind. On the ice, in the dark, the huddle waits. It has always waited, but the cold that once protected them is now their greatest threat. The ice that once held them is now vanishing. This is not the end, not yet, but it is a warning. Pay attention to the penguins. They are not just birds. They are meters. They are the pulse of the Southern Ocean. And that pulse is beginning to stutter.